Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root for the home.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another inning of Fantasy Basebrawl. I'm Naz. Today we're going to be looking at Terra Branford, aka Urza Lord High Artificer. So this is a pretty straightforward mono-blue artifacts deck. What we want to have in this deck is a lot of cheap artifacts, even something like this, because we're going to play off of the commander's ability to tap artifacts to add blue. So to that end, like I said, you want cheap, efficient artifacts. We're not playing multicolor. This is great. Get us some card draw. We're trying to create an army of cheap artifact creatures as fast as we can. I was actually able to have this synergize really well with this in a playthrough earlier this morning. So definitely something like this. I mean, you're basically creating free mock sapphires every turn with Urza on the board. And when you can produce lots of mana from your artifacts, the next best thing you could start doing is start copying your artifacts when you start casting them. Karn, you have Karn and Tezzeret. Both of them, their +1 ability makes an artifact. So again, you're getting free mock sapphires every turn with these guys on the board. And what can you do with all that mana? Well, you can do things like cast Mass Manipulation and steal everything your opponent has. You can cast Omniscience, Portal to Phyrexia, the Magic Mirror. We have big bomb artifact creatures, the Sundering Titan, the Leveler. Even a Meteor Golem. We got Jin Gataxia's Progress Tyrant to keep everything you can to put more artifacts on the board. That's the name of the game here. I've run out of wild cards, so I couldn't put in, I could have put in the Darksteel Colossus, but just don't really have the. Quite frankly, I don't have the money to go buying a 4-pack of Mythic wild cards right now. You have your standard board sweeps: River's Rebuke, Cyclonic Rift. I did put Mind's Desire in this deck because I figured, you're generating so much mana, you can cast a lot of things, then cast Mind's Desire. I don't know if we're going to see it today while I'm playing, but every time I use this card in playtesting, I got one of two things. I got islands and I got counter spells. And not even the good counter spells, like Sublime Epiphany, where I can at least get some use out of it other than its countering effect, or to the Crystal Tower. I kept getting things like An Offer You Can't Refuse or Pact of Negation. So again, is the shuffler rigged? Who knows? You got the synthesizer, start cranking out, your army of, an army of, synergizing, artifact constructs. It's pretty standard stuff. Roaming Throne works really well combined with Artificer. If you happen to have this out and before you cast Urza, you'll get double. We have the Forensic Gadgeteer, so you're triggering double artifact, double clue tokens. Psy Master Thopterist, that's really good. Padim. But anyway, and then for your lands, again, with Urza on the board, sacking this, let's say you pay, 3 as X, you're getting 3 treasure tokens, but you don't have to sack those tokens when Urza's in play. You can tap them for blue mana, and just, which is all you're ever going to need with this deck. Standard stuff to synergize with artifacts. You got your Fomori Vault, the Inventor's Fair. More artifacts, Darksteel Citadel, and the Seat of the Synod. Figure you have a lot of mana, you need to be putting it somewhere. And then I also, put this in the deck. That way, we're going to have a lot of artifacts out. If you happen to have non-artifact spells in your hand, this is a great way to cheat them into play. But without any further ado, let's play Brawl. I honestly don't know how we're going to fare today. I noticed, putting this deck together, I tend to get matched up with very other powerful decks, so I don't know how there's any truth to the matchmaking, or if it sees certain cards, it just assumes that your deck is like, top tier. But we'll see. Alright, this ain't bad. Not a bad ability. This would work well with that that Simic commander from the D&D set. I forget his name. Is it Rollo? I might have to remember that. I might have to put a deck around that one. Or build a deck around that commander. Definitely want to leave this open for the commander. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume he wants to get this as fast as possible on the board. By the way, in case anybody was wondering, this is actually my favorite, for lack of a better term, my favorite board to play on. I like the music a lot. If he had tried to, that's what I'm thinking of. If he had tried to, like, directly kill off the Surge Engine, I probably would have, Okay, I can't let him seek anything. He's already got a pretty, Now, I could bring out Urza, but I'm sure this is coming next, so I gotta leave it open. It's too bad, but... My opponent seems to be, can't make up their mind here. Yeah, I'd say Urza's a pretty busted card. This is probably as close to as a... This is probably as close as you're going to see me have to an all-or-nothing commander. Need to get some lands out, otherwise... On the subject of, the playmat battlefield, whatever, and music, since the Final Fantasy set got released, I'm actually very, very surprised they did not take advantage of getting... I'm sure they have the rights to some of the soundtrack, and I'm really disappointed that they didn't use any variation of Let the Battle Begin from Final Fantasy VII as background music. That would have been amazing. But too bad. Maybe they can patch it in the future. What I'm anticipating is he's going to get out his commander again, and by then I should have a strong enough presence on the board to cast Cyclonic Rift and send everything back. Unless he board wipes me first. I have yet to see anybody use Golos as a commander and then use this ability as well. By the way, Drafna is brutal when combined with Foundry Inspector. And Urza on the board, you'll see. You'll see in a second. I will admit the deck can run out of steam pretty quickly, and I think I might here in a minute. Opponent doesn't bring out Golos again. I'm that curious. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and return the Foundry Inspector to the hand. We're going to recast it, copy it,
Dominaria's treasures will aid us in our fight.
Unfortunately, I don't really have an answer for Golos himself anymore. It's like, oh, I guess is this a Gates deck? Yeah. Oof, that's not good in this deck. It's alright. I've built a deck around him. He's fun. Okay, the Midnight Clock, which pays for itself. Well, I guess I could duplicate it, but no. I think he's holding priority with this. Let's go. Tezzeret.
Shall we begin?
Okay, so the only thing opponent really might have is, as far as responses, probably something like Snakeskin Veil or an offer you can't refuse. If I try to do anything to his creatures, or him as a whole. Yeah, I need to do something against Golos. He's going to start going off with that activated ability. I'm in big trouble.
I require more energy.
Hopefully get something good out of this draw.
Know how this ends.
Nothing good. I could go for the Hail Mary and try to activate Urza's deal, but you know what I think I'm going to do? Let's... Okay, I need some kind of chump blocker out. Yeah, I have a bad feeling I didn't get to him in time. I didn't pull anything I could get used to get rid of this. I suppose there's other things I could put in the deck, like enchantments, to get around this, but we'll see. We'll see. This, you know, similar to this ability, it's all matters what he top decks. Oh, not bad. I'm honestly surprised he hasn't bothered to upgrade this yet. Oh, yeah, that's really good. Oh, well, yeah. Oh well. I was already thinking, like, geez, I wonder how many get... Oh, yeah. And, you know, I do put Demolition Field in this deck, you know, for things like that. I just didn't draw it fast enough. Okay, looks like we're up against a standard life gain deck. Counter his commander, hopefully. Ooh. Still want to hold off. This can grow really exponentially, and then I'm in trouble. I do have this. Gotta hold off for a little bit longer. I think if you're going to go mono blue, you got to have a lot of counter spells in your deck. And I tried. I tried to put as many as I could that made sense, but... Okay. I don't know why he didn't swing, but... Okay. Surprised I didn't get that sooner. Getting lands, but let's see. I guess I kind of need a chump blocker here. Don't want to let him give lifelink to this, and he'll probably just do it with this anyway, but another land. He's probably going to farewell artifacts, and that's the end of my game. Oh. Let's see here. I just keep drawing into monorocs and lands. I don't think there's anything I can do at this point. $50, it's another land. Oh, just as well. Jesus. Beat by the shuffler. All that extra card draw, and all I could draw into was lands and mono rocks. Terrible hand. That's better. I guess this will be alright. Okay. Mono rocks and lands. Mono rocks and lands. Alright, well. I should have enough to cast the portal next turn. Let's see what he does next. One blue mana floating here. And I do have enough to cast Mystical Dispute if he's got a blue counterspell. Wait, maybe not. Oh, wait a minute. No. Yeah. You know, now maybe you'll start seeing it more often now that I pointed it out. Like I said, a lot of people just give up after a board wipe. Because usually you're tapped out at that point. Or you've got no other options. Yeah, I don't wait longer than 30 seconds. Let's try again. That usually resets at the matchmaking. Yeah, see better. Ooh, Roxanne. Haven't seen this one in a while. I made a deck built around this commander. This commander is definitely OP. Roxanne's great ability is that just by getting her on the board, you've got a way to recast her because you're putting more mana out there. The only option you have is to really counter her. Okay, good. It's not mono rocks. Opponent getting off to a very slow start with this deck. Yeah, let's get out Urza now. Okay. Okay, we definitely want to keep two floating for this. So So here's what we're going to do. The Inspector first. Then the Reality Chip. Wait. Yes. Midnight Clock. Alright, now we go ahead and swing. In fact, this is fine. Because we're going to get an Urza's Land and then another Urza's Land when he blocks. If I know the shuffler right, normally I would expect him to bring out that land that lets you cast, get mana for. That we say no. Yeah. Opponent couldn't ramp fast enough with a deck like this, so they give up. If you let Urza stabilize with this deck, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. I think I've seen very few matches where I ended up losing once I've established a presence with Urza. Okay. This ain't bad. Let's go ahead and we'll keep this. This offers flexibility. Again, a lot of green decks I consider ramp, so if you're not ramping faster, you're not in a good way. Oh, very clever. Oh wait, no, there's no Scrylands in the mono green deck theoretically. Okay. We're going to use this to counter this and send this back to his hand. Oh. Okay. If I had enough to do everything, I would do it, but I don't. If he doesn't get another land, I'm going to have to Sublime Epiphany, cancel out the equip effect, and send this back to his hand. Actually, send this back to his hand. Couldn't send it back, but at least countered it, so that's good. Okay, Lotus Cobra. Yeah, let's get this out now. It'll get rid of one of his forests and put a chump blocker in, so he's gonna, you know, have to... He would have been better off casting this and then... Or can you still saddle it once it's been crewed? Okay. Ah, doesn't matter. Yeah. He didn't ramp fast enough. He got land screwed on that one. About halfway through. Let's crack open another pack, as promised. Oh, this isn't bad. It's kind of neat. Could be useful in a future angel deck. This one could be problems. Especially with the opponent going first. Hoping he tries to cast something so I can send this back to his hand. But it looks like he's not going to do that. Wait. Getting any land. Yeah, there we go. Great card. Okay, we need to get presence on here. Okay, now I have a counter spell. Not sure if he has something to buff this, so... Chip might be nice. I'd rather have something to start cranking out creatures with, although... No, I need a chump blocker. Okay. Wait. Oh. All right. God, I gotta start swinging at some point because this is getting ridiculous. I'm just gonna chump it anyway. Oof. Lands and lands. God, I'm pretty much dead here. Oh boy. Oh, Omniscience would have been nice a while ago. Let's see. God, just anything to just, I got nothing. I can't bounce it, can't do nothing. Do I have enough for the Hail Mary? Because this guy's going to hit me for... Yeah, I can't survive that. It'll be a land or a counterspell. Watch. F*** you, Shuffler. Like, land. Like, I mean, I know I'm not expecting much out of a 100-card deck, but seriously, I have not seen that ability pay off even once. Had it been anything other than a land or a counter, I would, even if it was another creature, I'd be like, oh, well, at least it's something new and different. Okay. This could be useful, but just not enough lands. Same difference. Alright, kind of better. Interesting. I wouldn't have expected a card like that in this deck. Let's get the drone out first. Start getting Urza lands in my hand. Gotta outpace him. Stupidly broken commander. Yeah, enjoy your free win, bro. I hate this card. I hope they ban this from Commander soon, at least as a commander. It's disgusting. Literally, that's like the only card you need on the board to win. At least with Urza, you have to have like a support structure around it with artifacts to tap for mana. Vivi, you just need Vivi on the board, and that's it. Yeah, nothing good here. Okay, this is better. If I ever see a deck that splashes green or has green that doesn't have Gala Greeters in the first 2 turns, I'll be amazed. You know, one of these days I'm going to do a future episode to see if, again, I'm not entirely unconvinced that that the shuffler is completely random. You want to trade? Oh, that's not good. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Get some more cards in. Okay. Might have something up the sleeve, like a board wipe or something. Oh, God. What a lucky top deck. Alright, this is probably going to be the last one. Let's see what we get. Win or lose. I think I am, this Sunday, I'm going to do an episode where my thoughts on, you know, certain cards popping up always at the right time, and see if my theory is accurate. get here. Opponent not getting lands. Try to take advantage of that. Let it go through. Wants to take out something, he can pay for it like everybody else. Still leaves this open. And regular counterspell for that matter. Okay. Jesus Christ. Well, if I can hold off for a little bit longer. Although, I'm off my back. Okay.
One day, I'll get out of this miserable district.
I don't think I've ever seen one of these second generation flip commanders not flip within a turn of coming out, if not two. Okay.
Testing is ahead of schedule. Got to factor in resistance.
Looks like he's trying to set up for something big. I wonder what it is. Oh, you had to try, man. Yeah. That is the first time I've seen, this commander work so effectively. And not even, being on the field, which is pretty scary. So... had this coming up next. Probably wouldn't have amounted to anything again. Every time I've used either Urza's activated ability, and by that I mean the Shuffle Your Library, Hail Mary, or Mind's Desire, every single time I end up getting a land or a counter, or a mono rock. Like, every time. Like, I'm nothing else in between, which is just, again. And there you have it. That was the deck. I want to say that Urza was probably better in a 60-card format. I'm pretty sure he was when they created him. It was fun. It's fun using him as a commander. You could pull off all kinds of neat combos with what you see here. If you have any recommendations, alternative choices, I'm all ears. But... again, if you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I'd sure appreciate it. Here's a couple of channels you might also enjoy. Have a look at them after you're done with this one. And I hope we find you safe at home. Have a great day. Thank you.
If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out at the old boy.